our fence, carving on a hillside.
Hi guys, welcome to Backroads and Barking Dogs. Today's episode is a quiet one. Not sad, not heavy, just honest. Because people talk a lot about happiness. They talk about their success. They talk about love. But we don't talk enough about peace. And sometimes peace comes in ways we never even expected. Even from people we love. For a long time, I thought peace meant everything around me finally becoming calm. That relationships would suddenly feel easy. That everyone would understand each other. That harmony would just happen. But life doesn't always work that way. Sometimes you can love people deeply and still feel tired in their presence. Sometimes conversations leave you drained instead of filled. Sometimes you walk away carrying emotions that were never yours to carry in the first place. And that's a confusing place to be. Because love and exhaustion can exist at the same time. One of the hardest lessons I've learned is this. You can love someone and still need distance from them. That doesn't mean you stopped caring. It doesn't mean you became cold. And it doesn't mean you gave up on family. It just means you finally started listening to your own heart. And listening to our own heart is something we need to do more often. There comes a moment when you realize you've been trying to keep the peace so long that you lost your own. You say yes when you really want to say no. You stay quiet to avoid conflict. You carry tension just to keep everyone else comfortable. And little by little, you stop feeling like yourself. I didn't recognize it at first. I just knew that I felt heavy. I felt restless. Like I was constantly walking on emotional eggshells. Setting boundaries sounds strong when people talk about it. But in real life, it feels scary. It feels guilty. You question yourself. You wonder if you're being selfish. You replay conversations in your head over and over again. And you ask yourself if maybe you should just try harder. Because stepping back from certain family members is not something anyone dreams of doing. It hurts, even when it's necessary. But here's what I learned. Boundaries are not punishment. Distance is not rejection. Sometimes space is the only place healing can grow. And choosing peace isn't about shutting people out. The first thing I noticed when I chose peace was quiet. Not lonely quiet, safe quiet. The kind where your mind finally just resets. Where your shoulders don't feel tight all the time. Where you wake up without anxiety sitting heavy in your chest. Peace didn't feel dramatic. It felt gentle. Like exhaling after holding your breath for years. I started noticing small things again. Evenings felt calmer. Laughter came easier. My thoughts felt kinder towards myself. And I realized something important. Peace didn't mean my life became perfect. It meant chaos no longer had access to my heart the way it used to. And maybe someone listening today needs to hear this. You are not a bad daughter, sister, or family member for protecting your peace. You are not wrong for needing boundaries. You are not selfish for choosing emotional safety. Love and boundaries can exist at the same time. You can wish someone well and still step back. You can care and still choose healing. Sometimes the hardest back road you'll ever travel is the one that leads you away from what's familiar. But sometimes that road is the one that finally leads you home to yourself. And when you find that peace, you realize it was never about pushing people away. It was about finally allowing yourself to live without constant noise in your heart. Well, thank you for sitting on the porch with me today. Peace doesn't always arrive loudly. Sometimes it shows up quietly, and it changes everything. Until next time, keep your heart open, your tea cold, and don't mind the barking dogs.